The courthouse lobby smelled of old wood and dust. Light filtered in through tall, grimy windows, illuminating faces drained of hope. People shuffled in and out, clutching folders as though they carried their entire lives in those thin stacks of paper. I had been waiting an hour already, staring at the clock, when my eyes fell on her. She sat across the room, posture elegant despite the discomfort of the wooden bench. Dark hair fell across her cheek as she flipped through a folder thick with legal papers. Her movements were precise, controlled, as though she was weighing every detail with mathematical care. There was something about her presence, a quiet confidence, a sharpness that cut through the monotony of the place. "You've been waiting long too?" I asked, breaking the silence. She looked up, eyes dark and unreadable at first. Then a faint smile softened her expression. "2 hours." I laughed, the sound awkward in the echoing hall. "Then I'm lucky. Only one for me." Her lips twitched, just slightly, before she returned to her papers. But I felt it. Something had shifted. That was the beginning. Not with fireworks or declarations, but with a quiet exchange in the dull lobby of a courthouse. And yet, it would bind us forever. Coffee. That was our next encounter. Then long walks. Then dinners that stretched past midnight. Marta wasn't like other women I had known. She didn't give herself away easily. She measured her words, always calculating, always careful. Yet I sensed a hunger beneath the surface. A desire to believe in something more than rules and reason. "You're too idealistic," she told me one night as we sat in a quiet cafe, rain streaking the window beside us. "And you're too realistic," I countered. "That's why we balance each other." She rolled her eyes but couldn't hide her smile. I was the dreamer. She was the strategist. Together, we felt invincible, or so I thought. Igor was my business partner. More than that, he was my friend. Or so I believed. It started with papers, contracts, invoices, requests for signatures. He tossed them on my desk with a casual wave of the hand. "Just formalities," he would say. And I, trusting him, signed without question. Until one day, men in black suits came knocking. Accusations. Fraud. Embezzlement. My name written across documents I barely remembered signing. Bank accounts I had never touched. And Igor, silent, distant, his eyes avoiding mine. The trial was swift. Evidence piled against me like bricks forming a prison wall. I saw Marta in the courtroom, her fists clenched, her eyes burning with fury. She wanted to scream that I was innocent, to tear apart every lie, but her voice was drowned in the tide of accusations. The judge's voice was final, merciless. "The court finds you guilty. 5 years in prison." As they pulled me away, I turned to Marta. "I'll survive," I whispered. "Just wait for me." Her tears blurred in my vision as the doors closed behind me. Prison isn't chains. Prison is silence. The first weeks were unbearable. The air was thick with despair, the corridors echoing with curses and cries. Men with hollow eyes paced like caged animals, their souls long since abandoned. I fought to remain myself, to remember who I was. Every night, I replayed Marta's face in my mind, her promise to fight for me. She visited once a month. Through the glass, phone pressed to her ear, she whispered, "I'll save you. I'll find the truth." Her voice was the only light in that darkness. But whispers spread among the inmates. "She's with Igor now. They've been seen together, laughing, dining." I told myself it was lies. But the seed of doubt grew, gnawing at me in the nights I couldn't sleep. Months passed. Marta changed. She still visited, but her eyes seemed heavier, her smile forced. She asked too many questions about Igor, about the papers, about small details I barely remembered. One night, she leaned closer to the glass and whispered, "Trust me, I'm doing this for you." I wanted to believe her. But when word reached me that she had been seen entering Igor's apartment late at night, my world cracked. Was she lying to me? Was she his now? Or was there something more? I didn't know then that Marta had taken a dangerous path, pretending to be Igor's ally, drawing closer to him to uncover the truth. But to me, trapped behind bars, it looked like betrayal. 2 years in, Marta found what she had been searching for: hidden accounts, falsified documents, a confession buried in Igor's files. She arranged a second trial, desperate to clear my name. But Igor was cunning. He saw through her disguise. He turned the tables, weaving new lies, destroying evidence before it could reach the court. When I stood trial again, I thought Marta had saved me. I thought freedom was within reach. But the verdict came crashing down, heavier than before. Guilty. Sentence upheld. I saw Marta collapse in the gallery, her face pale with despair. That was the moment something inside me broke. 5 years crawled by, each day heavier than the last. When the gates finally opened and I walked out, the world had changed. Marta stood waiting, tears in her eyes. "I never betrayed you," she whispered. "Everything I did for you." I wanted to believe her. But the scars of prison ran too deep. The doubts, the whispers, the sight of her with Igor, they haunted me. We tried to rebuild. Nights of passion, mornings of silence. We loved each other, but the cracks were there. Trust, once broken, doesn't mend easily. And Igor? He was still out there, watching, waiting. It ended on a rainy night. Marta had uncovered one last piece of evidence, something that would finally expose Igor. She begged me to come with her, to deliver it to the authorities. We drove through the storm, hearts pounding with fragile hope. But headlights appeared behind us, too close, too fast. A black car slammed into us, metal screeching, glass shattering. When I opened my eyes, the world was upside down. Blood dripped from my forehead. Marta lay beside me, motionless, her hand still clutching the folder. I crawled toward her, my lungs burning, and pressed my lips to her ear. "I'm sorry. I should have trusted you." Her lips trembled in a faint smile, a tear sliding down her cheek. "I loved you always." Then her hand fell limp. The last thing I saw before darkness claimed me was Igor's silhouette outside the wreck, his smile cruel and victorious. I survived. She didn't. And now I walk through life a ghost, carrying the weight of love lost, trust broken, and justice denied. Some nights, I dream of that first day in the courthouse, the quiet smile of a woman who changed everything. And I wonder if love was ever ours to keep, or only a cruel illusion destined to be shattered by betrayal and fate.